I'm delighted now to introduce this year's commencement speaker, class of 1980 alumna, Rhonda Kallman. We are so proud of the innovative path to success that Rhonda followed upon leaving North Shore Community College. Rhonda leveraged her North Shore degree in executive administration into what turned out to be a very successful partnership, creating with Jim Koch the Boston Beer Company, maker of Samuel Adams. I'm assuming that most of you are familiar with this popular brand that quickly became the most successful craft brewery in the world. Rhonda's entrepreneurial career in the highly competitive, male-dominated beer and distilled spirits industry has earned her many awards of distinction. And along the way, Rhonda broke down countless barriers and established a whole new set of opportunities for women in business. Her current endeavor as founder and CEO of Boston Harbor Distillery is the continuation of her quest for excellence, entrepreneurial diversification, and success. Now, I can't wait to hear more about her story and her words of wisdom for our class of 2017. Please welcome this year's commencement speaker, Rhonda Kallman.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, President Gentile and members of the Board of Trustees for having me here today. And congratulations to you all, class of 2017. So by being here today, I think you've already tasted success, and I bet it tastes good. I happen to know a little bit about good tasting things. And as President Gentile said, I did help launch the Best Beer in America, and one of the most recognized and respected beer brands all over the world. Have you heard of it, Sam Adams? It's better to drink it, so challenge you that. So it was in 1980 when I left here. I met Jim Koch, and he was a successful management consultant. He was really a manufacturing consultant was his specialty, and he was at the top of his game. He worked with guys like Jack Welch from GE, Lynchburg Foundry, Mead Paper, big companies that he consulted for. But like many of us, he wanted something more. And so Jim's passion was beer, and it was calling him home. You see, the Cooks have had a long relationship with hops and barley. He's the 6th consecutive oldest son to be a brewer in his family, and it was in his blood. And he decided he was going to go for it and join the newly emerging scene that was becoming the craft beer movement. And there I was, his secretary, 24 years old, with a degree in secretarial science from this very institution. Yeah. And who knew then that the skills that I learned here at North Shore Community College would set me up for success for the rest of my career? See, it was much different back then. There was no internet, no computers, no cell phones, no texting, no emails, none of it. So we had to learn some other skills, like interpersonal communication, organization, dressing for success, yes, and even typing. And those skills may not sound like a lot today, but they were basic yet vital to my future. So being able to have a phone conversation with somebody, write a letter that's grammatically correct, or wait for it, actually talk to someone face to face, is still a skill. Multitasking and knowing how to stay on point, it's a skill. Showing up and looking good and feeling good about yourself, importantly, another skill. So being a secretary, you see, was a huge asset as I moved into my new role and my new career. So I had a little experience in the alcoholic beverage industry, some waitressing and bartending, but what Jim was attempting to do sounded very intriguing to me. I saw his passion for creating something different, and I really wanted to be part of it. I saw an opportunity to be part of something important, so I took a chance. And even though it was risky to deviate from the path I was on, I went for it, and I've never looked back. Opportunity is not always obvious. It's not something that plops itself in front of you and says, "Hi, I'm here." And it certainly didn't for me. Sometimes opportunity finds you. Sometimes you find it. So don't ignore those signs. If something excites you, ignites your creative juices, and pushes you to want to learn more, it's probably opportunity knocking, and you can choose to answer it or not. I don't ignore the little things. Many times those little things turn into really big moments. So as you sit out there today with almost a fresh diploma in your hands, realize that your opportunities are endless. You must pay attention, though. As a close colleague used to say to me, keep your antenna up. Be aware. So I was paying attention way back then, and as a result, the chance I took changed the course of my life. I paid attention, and I helped to build a multi-million-dollar company. Woo! It actually got over like $3 billion market cap, but that was good. I was one of the first women to rise to the top of the alcoholic beverage business. They even called me the queen of beer at some point. It was truly amazing. So you think, okay, that's the good story, right? The story ends here. Well, not quite. So I left the Boston Beer Company, and when I did, it happened to be at the lowest point in the history of the company's stock price. And I sold all of my founder's shares. One decision. Why? I lost my passion. And for many reasons, I basically just walked away. I walked away from the brand. I walked away from the company that I helped build. I walked away from what was safe and what had driven and inspired me for 15 years. And I walked away from a lot of money. But what happened then? I walked towards my next opportunity, the one that I would create for myself. So with passion, there is true success. With passion for what you're doing, there is a real payoff. And with passion, you don't just show up, you shine. So for the next 10 years, I chased a dream of my own. I took what I learned from Sam Adams and set out on a new journey to fulfill my own vision. And I launched New Century Brewing Company to create innovative American beers for the future. I had the product, the ideas, the know-how, the contacts, and importantly, I had the drive and the determination to make it work. It was all coming together until it fell apart. First of all, the timing was just wrong. Control the controllables. I launched this new company on the eve of 9/11, just when the world was about to change. Overall circumstances were wrong. I thought I knew my competition. Anheuser-Busch, right? Well, no, it ended up to be the Federal Drug Administration. Long story short, they crushed my dreams. And it set me back years. It just simply wasn't meant to be, and I found myself fighting a sinking ship, fighting to save a sinking ship. And at the lowest point of my career, another blow, breast cancer. It was a frightening time. Obviously, I didn't see that coming. While I was raising 3 children of my own, I just felt like I was in a doom loop. My health was in jeopardy, my new company was tanking, and my spirit was almost broken. Almost. I had to dig deep, but I knew I wasn't finished yet. Bad timing and bad luck weren't going to break me. Breast cancer wasn't going to break me. And a failed business was certainly not going to break me. So we will all experience good times and bad times. That's just life. Just remember, don't let the hard times break you. No one gets out of this life unscathed. No one gets a free ride. And no one earns success without hard work. It would have been easy to give up my dream then, go take a job that paid the bills. But that's not me. I'm a fighter. Right. And all of us are if we choose to stand up at the plate and take a swing. So that's what I did. I dusted myself off, and I went back up to the plate. And again, I'm swinging for the fences. Once again, it happens to be in a bottle. I told my father all those years in bars would pay off. So Boston Harbor Distillery has now been open for nearly 2 years, not far from here in Dorchester, Massachusetts. I'm once again in love with what I do, creating and bottling some of the most remarkable spirits in the industry: whiskey, rum, liqueurs. I've even come full circle, and we're actually making whiskey out of Sam Adams beer. Boston Harbor Distillery really is my professional pride and joy. I feel like as though I've been training for this role my entire life. I just love the ingredients. I love that smell of whiskey being made when I walk into the distillery. That smacks you in the face. And of course, I love to taste a fine spirit, especially one that I know is made with integrity and passion and heart. So I'm taking a chance once again in this business, and I'm embracing this opportunity, and I'm charting my own course to success once again. You know, success isn't measured in a dollar amount. And it's not measured by a title on a business card. It isn't even a college degree. Success is turning passion into purpose. It is never being afraid to dream big, no matter what life hands you. Along the way, we have to allow ourselves to stumble, to crash, and to live in the mess until we're ready to clean it up again. It's about allowing ourselves to deviate from some grand plan and to realize that the way from point A to point B is not always a straight line. Facing fear and actually being scared is not wrong. It's brave and honest. And it is really hard to know courage if you've never been afraid. And it is impossible to taste success unless failure has also been put on your plate. I share my story today with you because it is far from perfect. I am far from perfect. My business is far from perfect. And you know what? That's okay. I've been called a lot of things in my life. I've been called the pioneering woman in the beer business. Yeah. I've been an innovator, a trailblazer, and even a survivor. As I look out there at all of you today, I can see myself sitting there oh so many years ago. I didn't have all the answers then, and I certainly don't now. But I do know that my personal mantra, borrowed from Shakespeare, is, "To thine own self be true." It's been my guide. It may not be original, but it's real, and it's been my compass throughout my journey. I know what drives me to continue is the need to be independent, to be my own person, to live by my own rules, to satisfy my own moral compass, and to make enough money to provide for myself and my family. And looking at all of you out there reminds me, again, so long ago, if I was sitting out there, I would tell her then, is what I will leave you with. Keep dreaming big. Savor success when it happens. Harness the fear of the unknown. And when opportunity knocks, be sure to answer the door. Cheers to all of you, and congratulations, class of 2017. Woo! You go, guys. Oh, thank you.